Okay, I've had a rest. I've done the comments. Chilled out a bit. What I'm going to do is try and see if I can finish it on double speed. And I'm really sorry for those that can't hear her or it messes up their ear equipment. But I will stop and comment in between, but I'll be on normal speed. If this goes up, I got through it. Otherwise, I may have thrown my computer at the wall. Shall we see?
Hey girls, it's Lisa.
She got to about there, didn't she?
And what I would do in that case is I would just get up extra early before I took them to school and get prepared and do a little work before then. But getting back to, this is what I have a hard time with, is staying on schedule. But that's not, see, I'm feminine, I'm a flowy, all over the place kind of person. It's hard for me to stay on a script here. But another way I would do that is say, okay, so I'd always schedule off in the day. The morning taking them to school was out. The afternoon picking them up was out. So
We've done this.
go see my parents. It doesn't matter if I'm in the middle. So I like to be with him when it is time. So he usually comes in our room, he'll say, how much longer? And that is for me to finish up. Another thing that I schedule in there. Okay, so John asked me to go to, coming up, we're going to go to a Rolling Stones concert. And so I will just have to plan and work all of my work around there. So that's what I do, is first I X off those times that are most important to me. Okay.
People do that all the time.
And then number two, I get up early if I have to, and that is because now I don't like working late, because that is my time to watch TV with John. So I usually take a shower each night, and I am trying to not do that as much, at least not wash my hair each night to give it a break. Last night I used the Wow Curl Spray, and not loving it. It's not crunchy, but it's not soft, and it made it, I think it almost made it frizzier, but we'll get into that later on a hair video on my YouTube channel probably. And so I like to be with him when it is time. So he usually comes in our room, he'll say, how much longer? And that is for me to finish up the little bit of work I need to do, post a video, do anything like that, walk, which he's been walking with me lately, but last year that was when I would walk, and I never missed a day. I would work it in every day because that was important to me. And then I'll wash my face, take my shower, whatever. He'll come in the bedroom, we're ready to watch TV. I don't even look at my phone. It's not something where we're watching TV and I'm posting on Instagram, or I'm answering your comments, or I'm making a list or anything. He has my undivided attention, and we're watching TV.
Oh, I bet he's so pleased, isn't he, that he actually gets your undivided attention while you're watching TV. So it's not actually your undivided attention, is it? You're watching television. That has to be the picture for this. See, this is the face she pulls when she thinks about spending undivided attention time with John.
TV together. That is something we look forward to. We hold hands. We agree on what we're going to watch. If it's something that he doesn't want to watch, I don't make him watch it. If it's something I don't want to watch, he doesn't make me watch it. He, a lot of times, will watch TV while I'm taking a shower, and he'll watch all that stuff he likes, because he really likes sci-fi, and he likes, I hate to say more violent movies, but more just man movies. You know what I mean? I like some of them, but if it's just constant beating somebody up, what is that movie? John Wick? I understand why men like that, because from the beginning of the movie, it is nothing but a big fight. It does have good music, but things like that, he'll watch while I'm getting ready.
Jed loves John Wick. Tech Help loves John Wick. Jed has been dying to get me to watch John Wick from the very first one. But it's like, what gets me is how can such a kind, quiet, gentle man as Keanu Reeves be a serial killer or whatever it is he is in that, a hitman or whatever. It's like, it doesn't fit, does it?
No phone, and I would rather get up earlier before taking the kids to school, like I said, than work late. I'll get up at 5 o'clock if I need to. I'll do whatever it takes. Okay, another point I wanted to make, and I think this is a very important one, and I have even shared this with friends, that...
Oh, I really love my cat, so I'm just going to sit back like that so she fucks off of the chair.
Have younger children, and their children will say, Mom, I want you to watch TV with me. And I will say, I used to do that. Brooke and Will and I would watch an episode of The Office every night, and then sometimes maybe two. I think there was another show we used to like to watch, and I felt like that was important at the time. Brooke was in middle school and high school, and it was kind of like that time.
I felt that was important at the time. You thought it was important at that time. Spending time with your husband and your children is important all the fucking time. Madam came up here yesterday and I heard her footsteps outside the door, and then she disappeared. So I paused what I was doing, shouted out, and I said, why didn't you come in? Because you were recording. And I said, how many times do I have to tell you I have the power of pause? What, even if it's important? I said, there's nothing more important than you. And off she went. But the thing is, I have to keep telling her, she doesn't remember. I don't know why. She's autistic. She remembers everything. But it's like, who says it was important at that time? And I'm sorry, there's something there in that chair that's fallen down that gap or got stuck, and there's something there. and there's something on the floor, and I don't know if that's the leg of the... and they've just taken my attention completely.
That we would spend together, and if she had a question to ask me or something, she could. This is the point I wanted to make.
Oh, if she had a question to ask me, she could at that time. She couldn't just walk in when you were working and say, Mum, can you answer this? Really? But you're such a good mama. You made a list of things to talk about on your 6-hour car journey. Tell me I'm wrong, people. Please, come and watch this and tell me I'm wrong.
Make it clear is your kids have to learn that people need to work. And I think children, I don't think you should put them, I think you should definitely make them a priority. You should definitely do what you think is best. You should definitely be a parent first, but it is not going to hurt your children to see you having to get things done and having to work. I think it's been good for my children to see not only John working, and he's retired now, but that was when I was at the height of stay-at-home mom phase, and I can remember being outside, watering plants, John coming home, getting the mail, and it's all going in and having dinner. So seeing your parents working and sacrificing a little bit is reality. I think if you drop everything and you have mom guilt and you don't see them and they don't see you prioritizing some other things, then I think that is just not a true vision of life. And then when they go to get married and have their own lives, they're going to have this unrealistic vision of what it's like. So I do think it's good for them.
Oh, you didn't have an unrealistic vision of what it was like when you got married, did you? When I say I have the power of pause, if I'm recording a book, there's a sign on the door that says I'm recording a book, and they know to be quiet and not to come in. But the rest of the time, recording a YouTube video is not the be-all and end-all of life. If you're doing a sponsored video and you have to get certain information out and you need to be able to do it all in one take, I get that, but the rest of the time, you do choppy fucking edits anyway, so no one would know if your child came in the middle of it. Not now, Brooke. Mama's working.
To see you working, seeing you have other interests, and things like that. Now, the next step, I would say, would be sacrifice some success for your greater goals and what's really important to you and what you value the most. Keep that in mind at all times. So part of that would be not traveling too much. You'll notice that I did not travel a lot until my children got older. Now they're 20 and 24. They're not even children, but they are to me. They will be forever. And I don't even like being away from them that much right now, or my husband. But we're at a point in our lives, I can travel a little bit more. John and I, we keep trying to, like when he asked me to go to this concert, we were going to go just the two of us, but the kids wanted to go, so they're going to go with us. But that is something I have tried not to do. Not moving.
You didn't think to ask the kids if they wanted to go and see the Rolling Stones? Isn't that a life experience, Lisa?
With John and his job and his career, if we wanted to have made so much more money, for him to have climbed the ladder so much higher, and for us to have bigger houses, bigger things, we would have had to move probably about every 2 years. The big bosses in GE, usually they move about every 2 years. But we didn't want to upend our kids out of school every 2 years. We didn't want to leave my parents and my family, and we let it.
Bollocks. You didn't want to be away from your parents. It had nothing to do with the kids and school. If you'd moved every 2 years, maybe fucking Brooke would have enjoyed it a bit more because she was meeting different people. You didn't want to be away from mummy and daddy. That was your problem. Nobody else's.
Here, and we decided to just do what we had to do, live within our means, and that was a worthy sacrifice for us. Not giving up your values or your family's privacy. This is a big thing that I have done. I know.
Not giving up your family's privacy. You were the first person to give your address away for your sweet gifts back in the day. Have you forgotten that?
That I probably could have a lot more views. I could maybe make a lot more money if I were to show every single little thing that my family does. And everybody wants to see my mom. Well, if you will really think about it, and think about everything that goes on with YouTube and my comments and the websites everywhere, would you want everyone picking your mom apart? I like to protect things that are sacred. Now, Brooke is an adult. She chooses to put herself out there on social media, so I don't feel, quite. And even then, I ask her. Like, I had her approve all the pictures that I just posted in that video. I never post anything without asking her. Will is more private. And my kids have had to read a lot of things about me online that are not true. They've had to read things about themselves that are not true that other people have posted. And so I protect that at all costs.
Right. What have they read that isn't true? Please tell us.
I'm not going to show every single thing about my life, and that is just a choice I have made, and I think that's a choice that we all make. With this is really personal to me, but you know what I mean. Staying authentic and true to your beliefs, even with your job. If you think something that they are asking you to do is not true to your beliefs, not authentic, I don't think you should do it. I think that should come first and foremost. That does for me. I know if I were to make more clickbaity videos or for some reason negativity gets the most clicks. It really does. And you'll notice that a lot of negative or critical videos telling you how to not do this, how to not dress, how to not look old, all these things, those are the ones that...
How not to look frumpy.
views, and I don't mind doing those things, if they're true to my character and they're true to how I believe, but it's not worth it to me to be negative and to really bash different products and different things like that just to get views. So that is another thing that I do. And in turn, all of that saves me time because I just spend time making the videos that I want to make. I don't waste time on all of those other things, chasing views, chasing subscribers, and forfeiting, all the things that are important to me. And then I have don't waste time on things that don't truly improve your life or make it better. And I have, for example, girls' nights. Now, I'm not saying if you have a true girlfriend.
What are you teaching the people that paid you $25 a month for this nonsense? All you're doing is talking about your life. Your life is not their life. You haven't given any information that people need or wouldn't already have known.
And you really do need that personal time. I'm not saying don't meet girls out for dinner.
And you really need that personal time. You have personal time all the fucking time. Stop making people feel bad for having a girls' night out.
But just to go out for the heck of it and have wine night or things like that, and you are just doing it just for entertainment, that's something I would rather give up. Right, Chanel? I'd rather be here with my kitties and my family. Just looking at me. And then parties that I don't care to go to, that is something I've had to wrestle with when we moved here, because I mentioned this, when we moved here in this very, very, very social golf cart neighborhood where they're always having line dancing, a party, they get together on the boats and go over to the island, all those things. I thought I might want to do that. Well, when it came right down to it, I don't. I value my time at home. I would rather be making a video. I would rather be eating dinner at my own counter and watching TV and talking to my husband. It just got to the point where I was having a lot of guilt because I didn't want to go. I'm not saying I don't go to any of them, because some of them I do like going to. And I love going to the pool and visiting with my neighbors then. It's not that I don't want to be social, but I've realized that's just not part of what I value. So I've given up that, and I've also given up the guilt of not going.
How does that help anyone watching you? Me.
I don't spend time with negative people. So that goes along with just like friendships and stuff or even, I even say here, watching negative TV shows, endless scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, with social media, gossiping with friends. Don't waste time. I mean, it's easy to get caught up on a text thread or in a group where they might just be talking about just anything. It could be, something on something big time on social media, some kind of scandal, like years ago, we had that whole Tati scandal and things like that. Or it's just very easy to waste time. It just is. And I look for every crevice of time that I have. Sometimes a day will feel like 3 days. I have gotten so much stuff done, and it's because I usually start early. I usually get up at the latest 6 or 6:30. And I come upstairs, spend time with my kitties, I feed them, I, catch up with you guys on my email and my comments, I journal a little bit, I have gratitude times where I write down all the things that I'm grateful for. Then I've gotten busier and busier and busier as my career has moved on. So usually, like this morning, I had to proof watch my Friday haul, and then I had to load it and send it to OSEA to get approved, because when you do collaborations, most of the time you have to have them approved. And then I went and had my car washed. I hadn't had it washed in forever. And then I went and got lunch.
How long is forever?
I came straight back here, loaded my video, paid my editor, spent a couple of minutes with John talking to him about the day, talking to Will. I showed Will a shirt I just bought him, talked to him for a few minutes, came upstairs, and now I'm making this video. And let's see, what time is it? I can't see what time it is. My watch, I haven't set it today. And I think it's about 3 o'clock. So what I'll do is edit this video, and then I'll do the thumbnail for my Friday haul, and I'll usually try to be all ready mostly by 5 o'clock and post that video. And then I will eat dinner, John cooks, and then after that, I'll either walk, or if my friends that I enjoy talking with have been boxing me today or texting me, a lot of times I'll put all of those things off until I have some free time. And I will, talk with them back, and sometimes I will have to stop mid-message when John comes in the room, and I'll just text him, John's here to watch TV, and I will catch up with you in the morning. Or a lot of times I'll say, working, doing my video, I'll catch up with you girls later. So that's what I do. It's just, you prioritize what is
most people know how to do that, Lisa.
important. And one of those priorities to me is my self-care. So I prioritize my time to have my nails done, my toes done, to take a shower at night. I find that it's easier to take a shower at night, and then in the morning, I only have to put on my makeup before I have to do a video. And I enjoy that time. I get soaps that I love to smell. I find a video or a podcast that I want to play while I'm in the shower and I'm, doing my skincare. So a lot of times I think women think that they don't have time for themselves. But if you really, really look at what...
This wasn't a video about making time for yourself. This was about how to do things with your feminine and masculine energy, and we've heard none of that.
You're doing, evaluate each moment that you spend doing anything. I remember that time being in the car line waiting for the kids to get out of school. That is when I used to do my Instagram and answer your comments and things like that. So I try to just maximize every moment that I have. So I hope that helped you just a little bit. Maybe it gave you a little bit of behind the scenes. And I really want to help you girls. If I know a lot of you are working and you're looking for that time to get back into your feminine energy, because one thing, I didn't realize this until I really started studying masculine energy. Like, I knew I was a feminine person. I knew I have a lot of feminine energy, but I wasn't aware of how much I was letting masculine energy slip into my life. And I'm going to do a video on that because I want to save you from doing these little things that I was letting happen that were not good. They just weren't good for anyone. And I realized that as we get older, it becomes easier for for us to get into our masculine energy, one, just purely hormonal, we have less estrogen. And so that, keeps us from feeling as feminine and feeling all of those things. It makes it even more important for us to take this time for self-care, for us to be with other women that are supportive. Like, I want to be that place that you can come to and feel like clicking my video off and going and taking a hot bath and painting your fingernails and putting that perfume on and just feeling yourself. I want to be that person for you. I don't want to be the person complaining about men, complaining about children, complaining about the world. I'm not going to be a commiserator. I don't ever want to be. I'm not going to be a gossiper and all of those things. And I have realized as you get older, you become kind of jaded, and it's just easier to do that. So I want to keep you from doing that and keep me from doing that. And I'm so appreciative of this group. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir a little bit, because I feel like most of you here, you wouldn't be here if you didn't feel a lot of these same ways. But I know that I have slipped into those habits of spending time doing things that weren't important, when I could have been taking care of myself, being nice to my husband a little bit more, spending more time with him, spending more time with my kids, or working,
Really? You could have spent more time with your kids or your husband if you only just figured that out at 50-3.
Because I don't consider working, to me, it's the only thing that's masculine about it is a schedule and the deadlines and getting things approved and timing and lists and order, things like that.
How is that masculine? I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. Explain to me, what the fuck is feminine energy and what is masculine energy? And when do we need to switch one off and switch the other on? Because none of this makes any fucking sense.
But most of the time, I feel very feminine talking to you girls, because you are my support system, and we're talking about girly things, and that's what I love. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Well, that was just pointless, wasn't it? And if you got to the end of it with me, congratulations, and I will see you in the next one.